Alright, so we're on the way to the other shop. Go over a couple cars I have over there. It's a building I own around the road. I thought that I'd work out of it, you know, but the act of having someone there while I'm not overseeing them, yeah, that goes. Okay, here we are. This is one of the cars we built for the show. I ended up with it. Currently on eBay right now for sale. By the time this video gets places, it'll probably be gone, hopefully. And here is the shop. The Dune Buggy was my first car, ever. I have a soft spot for him. That's why I have that one. Got that in a deal, and I just think it's the coolest thing. Purple Dune Buggy. What's more Americana than that? Here's my first Harley Sports. I bought that, stripped it down to the engine, built it up like that because that's what I like. A friend of mine passed away, one of my best friends I used to race with, and this was his bike, and I ended up with it. Street legal, can drive it anywhere. CBR, oh, I love this bike. It's a really cool looking bike. Long story short, a guy keyed up one of my cars in the lot. We did it on video cam. So I locked him in his building and said, this is how you're going to pay me. You're going to give me this bike. And he gave me the bike. Kawasaki I bought, coincidentally from the same guy. That is, it's a ZRX 1200R, really badass bike. Fastest bike I own. Now this here, this is my 1947 Triumph Roadster. I love this car. It's actually a tree shift, you know, the steering column. It's a little 4-cylinder, 1.8 liter engine. And steering obviously is on the right hand side. Something you get used to quick due to the fact the shifter is on the right. This up here is one of my M3s, street car, all stock. I believe these cars are going to go up in value, so I hold on to it. It's bone stock original, it's a real nice piece, and just a very nice, fun car to drive. Now this here, this Camaro is a 78 Camaro drag car with a big block I bought off Craigslist. You know, the car is just something I bought to flip. You got a built up rear and damn near gets the wheels off the ground. This here is my Mustang Gt 1985. I'm not a Ford guy, I don't dig Fords, but Mustangs, I like. I like Mustangs. It's got a 347 stroker, aluminum heads, it's about 450 horsepower. Runs like a champ, stick, fun to drive, just a cool little car. Now this here is a Mercedes 190E 2.3 16 valve, a very rare car. It's very solid, however I gave it to a guy to paint, and I didn't know he was a total dickwad, and decided to just kind of scuff it up and squirt paint on it. And as you can see, that didn't work well. I made a deal with the guy, and I'm a man of my word. I did what he needed. He was supposed to paint the car, and he gave me back the car with a crappy paint job on it. So, needless to say, I no longer deal with that asshole. This here I picked up off of eBay. It's street legal. I've driven it on the street numerous times. I've had it at the track once. Just a great all-around car. It's turbo. He was assuming it's 500 horsepower, but like most people, you know, they overestimate horsepower. I prefer to underestimate horsepower. This car does not make 500 horsepower. Probably makes about 400 horsepower, somewhere around there, which for a 2,700 pound car is pretty damn good. Now this car here was what's called a C43. It had a 4.3 liter V8 and 60,000 miles. And I got it really cheap, and I had a 55 engine sitting around, which is the same engine, more displacement, more horsepower. Now this is my 90 SS pickup, which has been on the Leepu and Pitbull show a few times. This car is it's a 468 cubic inch solid roller, big block, airflow research heads. It's about 10.5 to 1 compression, Wiseco pistons, Cali crank, Cali rods. It's got an F&B AOD with the trans brake. It's, you know, got overdrive, click of a button. It's got a line lock, stall converter. It's got a 14 bolt rear. Auburn rear actually is inside that 14 bolt housing. Custom drive shaft from the drive shaft shop around the corner, my friend Bobby. National drive shaft. This is a killer truck. It's a 10-second truck. It's again, there's a lot of loose ends with it, but I've owned that for 15, 16 years. I've owned that vehicle longer than any vehicle I've ever had. I'll never sell it, I'll never part with it. One day I'm going to do a total restoration on it, take everything off it, chassis and everything, and go to town on it. So anyway, that almost or about wraps up the projects that I have on my plate. And if I had better help and more help, I'd probably knock them out quicker. But at this point, you know what? I'm a realist. Make the money, pay the bills, mess around with this crap afterwards.